Understanding repressions post-placement. Part of the recovery process is gaining insight into the various problems that can occur when hurtful memories are repressed. Another part of the process involves doing written and verbal exercises I will explain later in this video to release these repressions. Repressions may affect the birth mother years after the relinquishment. According to Freud, repression is one of a number of defense mechanisms by which the ego, our conscious self, blocks off threatening thoughts or desires and keeps them from seeping into our conscious minds. When we repress thoughts in the subconscious mind, the ego uses its own energy resources. The more painful the memory, the more energy the ego must expend to keep the memory repressed. Some birth mothers will go into a prolonged mourning process when they feel suspended in the past, if only on a subconscious level. In many ways, they hang on to unremitting grief, clinging without relief to their sorrow, guilt, anger, self-hatred, and depression. These then become repressions. Avoiding these painful feelings on a conscious level can be maintained for years or even lifetime until a way to recover is found. Since repressed feelings are blocked energy, they have the power to turn inward, causing headaches, stomach disorders, backaches, or a general weakened physical condition. Some doctors believe that they actually have an effect on our immune system. This is in turn leaves the body open to a wide variety of illnesses, diseases. It is important that the negative energy be released, otherwise other areas of your life are disturbed. Repressions are feelings, especially if you are doing this in the denial stage of grief process, the stage at which you are not yet aware that the relinquishment still affects you, can lead to compulsive behaviors such as overeating, overspending, smoking, drinking, taking drugs. These repressed feelings have a way of eating at the core of your existence. The longer you hold on to them, the more power they have over you. To avoid the experiencing these hurtful feelings locked within, you may have developed a system of defense mechanisms. Repression is one of these, as it allows you to block your feelings from your conscious mind. To remove these blocks, you must acknowledge these and their presence and recognize which defense mechanisms you are using to keep the system in a dysfunctional pattern. Not everyone uses the same defense mechanisms to hide the hurtful memories, but you will recognize those you have used as you read and listen to this message that I'm making this video for you. To explain how birth mothers use repression as a defense mechanism, you must first understand that what happens when they go into delayed grief. Many birth mothers were expected to move forward and forget what happened. This meant going on without showing any emotions. However, they could never deny what happened, but did deny how much it mattered to them and how badly they were hurt by relinquishment. This denial caused the delay of grieving for the lost child until later in their lives. One of the key reasons they went into delayed grief was the lack of anyone to validate and support them through their pain. It is difficult to grieve alone, yet so many birth mothers suffered alone, crying into their pillows at night or locked behind a bathroom door. Many suffered from the aching arm syndrome in the middle of the night. Delayed grief is the cause of post-traumatic stress syndrome, or as we know it, post-traumatic stress disorder. Soldiers have been to war will often suffer symptoms years later when something pulls the painful memories of their subconscious. Some symptoms include feelings out of control or suspended in time, sleep phobias, sleep disorders, eating disorders, panic attacks, anxiety, and some phobias are common. The reason for the grief may vary, but many of these symptoms are common to birth mothers who have suffered from delayed grief. Holding on to many repressions causes the birth mother extreme anxiety. At some point in her life, if the anxiety becomes too overwhelming, it can turn into phobias. Many therapists feel that these phobias are defense structures within the psyche. The subconscious mind can hold just so many repressed feelings. Then they begin to surface as physical illnesses or as misunderstood fears. What may be happening is that the birth mother can no longer deal with the repressed memories of the relinquishment, so she projects these feelings onto other people or objects in an attempt within her own psyche to dispose of the hurtful memories. She may now place the blame for her uneasiness on outside causes and for a short time be able to experience a sense of security and temporary relief from the painful memories. It is important to note that if you suffer from phobias, the original source of the pain may be too overpowering for you to handle on your own. If so, it is advisable that you receive some form of therapy that will help you explore the shame and show you how to integrate the split-off experiences and phobias with the original problem. Some psychologists believe that if the birth mother hasn't recovered from the relinquishment issues before midlife, this is the time when she will suffer from unexplained illnesses or phobias. Frequently, birth mothers between the ages of 35 and 45 suffer phobias that are triggered by a traumatic life event such as the death of a parent, loss of a job, or a divorce. The loss seems to have the effect of pulling out memories of the past of the subconscious. The birth mother can trigger a phobia by remembering the relinquishment. Some of the birth mothers that I have interviewed spoke of developing agoraphobia, the fear of going outside of the house. They felt they had lost control of their lives, which led to panic attacks whenever they had to leave their homes. Being locked within their homes gave them a sense of predictable physical boundaries. They explained it as operating out of fear. There are many theories on how to treat agoraphobia. The practitioner treats the symptoms with drugs. One of the drawbacks of this treatment is that you can become physically and psychologically addicted to the drugs. You may also find or want to find a good post-adoption therapist to help you through these repercussions. It is imperative for you to write down the emotions that you are feeling so that you can be aware of these repercussions and repressions that you have been in denial for many, many, many years since placement. Are you now suffering from any repressions? Please get out a piece of paper and write down all the different repressions that you feel like that you are now suffering from. Do you suffer from anxiety, depression, migraines, eating disorders? Do you have crying spells, uncontrollable crying spells? Do you obsess? Sometimes birth mothers obsess about the placement. Some of them go into severe denial about the placement. Which one of the pendulum are you at right now? Do you feel good about your placement? Was your placement a forced placement? Or did you make an adoption plan and you made the decision yourself? The factors in how much a birth mother will have trauma after a placement is how much control she had over that placement. If that placement took place under coercion, under parental guidance, against her will, she will have so many repressions because she will feel that she had no control or no say over that placement. That repression must be dealt with for you to have a full, happy life, meaning a full and content life. So now is the time to not live in the past, but to deal with these issues with a professional. And now is the time that you can make an appointment with Lucy Franklin CPAC. She understands this. She has lived it, and she wants to help you deal with your repressions and everything about being a birth mother. So please make an appointment at Birthmothers Unite Facebook site. There's an area for you to make an appointment today.